Good morning. It's another day of Junie B. I hope you all had a nice turkey day last week because I certainly did. And now I'm still eating some pie and leftover turkey, and those leftovers will never go away. The dog might get it pretty soon. So we're back to Junie B. And today we're going to jump into the spring because she's back in kindergarten now. And this is called, you're going to love this, Junie B. Jones has a peep in her pocket. I don't know. I live on a farm, so I don't know what's going on, but we're going to find out. So here we go. My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice, except I don't like Beatrice. I just like being, that's all. I am almost 6 years old. Almost 6 is when you get to go to school. And so last summer, Mother took me to the school office and she rolled me in afternoon kindergarten. Rolled is the grown-up word for signed me up and made me go. Only guess what? I don't even mind going there hardly, because I made 2 bestest friends at that place, that's why. And their names are Lucille and that Grace. We are like 3 peas in a row. My teacher's name is Mrs. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs. and that's all. Only here's the trouble. Just when I was getting good at kindergarten, Mrs. made an announcement in our class, and she said that pretty soon school is going to be out. I did a gasp at that terrible news. No, Mrs., no. How can school end? Because Mother said I have to go to school till I'm an old teenager, and I'm not even 6 years old yet. Mrs. Quick shakes her head. Oh, dear, I'm sorry, Junie B. I'm afraid that you misunderstood me. School isn't going to end forever. School will just be taking a summer vacation. She smiled at me. You and everyone else in this class will come back to school in September. It's just that you won't be in room 9 anymore. I quick got out a paper and crayon. Okie doke, then tell me the name of our new room, because I will need to tell Mother where to bring me. Mrs. did a little frown. I'm sorry, but right now I have no idea what room you'll be in next year. I did a frown, too. So what am I supposed to do then? Just wander around the school till I find you people? Mrs. looked funny at me. You still don't understand. Next year you're going to have a different teacher, Junie B. Next year you're going to be in first. First what? First grade. Just then my stomach felt sickish inside because I don't even like first graders, that's why. First graders are bullies to me at recess, and I don't want to be in the same room as these guys. Pretty soon a boy named William started to sniffle way much, because William hates first graders even more than me. That's because one time a first grader stole William's winter hat with the ear flaps, and he put it on a dog that was running around the playground, and the dog ran away with William's ear flap hat forever. I patted William very nice. Me and William don't want to be in the same room as first graders, I told Mrs. Me and William prefer children our own age. Me too, said my bestest friend Lucille. I prefer children my own age too. Me too, hollered a boy named Polly Allen Puffer. Me too, said a girl named Charlotte. Mrs. said shh to us. Boys and girls, please. Now everyone is misunderstanding me. We need to get clear on this right now. Next year, when you come back to school, you will not be in class with the children who are in the first grade this year. Next year, those children will move up to second grade, and you people will move into first grade. Understand? I thought and thought about that. Then all of a sudden, a light bulb came on in my head. Oh, I get it now. All of the grades move up. Right, Mrs.? Everyone does. She clapped her hands. Right, exactly, she said. Now, may I please get on with my announcement? I brushed my skirt very smoothly. Yes, you may, I said. Okay. As I started to tell you earlier, I have very happy news for room 9 because this year, for the first time ever, we are going to go on a special end-of-the-year field trip. Mrs. smiled real big. We're going to a farm. Doesn't that sound like fun? A farm, shouted the children. A farm, we're going to the farm. And Lucille hugged me, very thrilled. A farm, she said, real squealing in my ear. A farm, I said, real glum. Because guess what? Farms are not my favorite. That night, I ate dinner with Mother and Daddy and my baby brother named Ollie. Only I couldn't even swallow that good because I was still upset about the field trip. That's why. I don't want to go, I said. I don't want to go to the farm with room 9 because a farm is the most dangerous place I ever heard of. Daddy looked surprised at me. What are you talking about, Junie B? What's dangerous about a farm? The ponies, of course. The ponies are dangerous. Farms have ponies running in their fields, and ponies can stumble you into the ground and kill you to death. Mother covered her face with her hands. No, Junie B, please. Not the pony thing again. We've talked about this 100 times. I've told you over and over that ponies do not hurt you. Yes, they do too hurt you, Mother. I saw it on TV with my own eyeballs. Mother looked at Daddy. It was that stupid cable show the babysitter let her watch, she said. It was called When Ponies Attack, I hollered. It was called When Ponies Attack. After that, Daddy covered his face too, and then all of a sudden he burst out in a loud hoot of laughing, and he couldn't even stop himself. Mother's cheeks sucked way into her head. Thank you, she said. You're being a huge help here. Then Daddy got up from his chair, and he went into his room for a timeout. That's when me and Mother had a long talk about ponies. She told me that her Uncle Billy used to have a farm, and that the farm had a pony named Stubby, and that Stubby was gentle as a lamb. As a matter of fact, Uncle Billy had almost every kind of farm animal you can think of. Pigs, cows, sheep, chickens, goats. He even had a mean old rooster named Spurs. But out of all those animals, the pony was the sweetest. You would have loved Stubby, Junie B. He used to follow me around like a puppy. He did? He did, she said. Honest, honey, I would never let you go to a farm if there was even the teeniest chance you would be hurt by any of the animals. But my Uncle Billy's farm had the gentlest animals I ever saw. Well, except for that mean old rooster anyway, she said. Just then, Daddy came back into the kitchen. He said apology to me. I'm sorry, Junie B. I didn't mean to laugh, but that TV show you saw was just so ridiculous I couldn't help it. After that, he sat down at the table and he filled out my permission slip for the farm. You're going to love this trip. We'll get you one of those little throwaway cameras from the drugstore, and you can take pictures of all the animals you see. Great idea, said Mother, and I'll take you shopping for a brand new pair of overalls, and I'll even get you your very favorite lunch. After that, I got down from my chair very quiet and I went into my room. Then I climbed onto my bed and I hugged my stuffed animals real tight because I kept on thinking and thinking about what Mother said about Uncle Billy's animals. But mostly, I kept thinking about that old, mean rooster. On account of one time at my school, a boy named Meanie Jim brought his rooster for pet day, and he said that roosters can peck your head into a nub, and that is not pleasant, I tell you. I hugged my animals even tighter because guess what? Roosters are a jillion times scarier than ponies. The next morning, Mother called me for breakfast. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, I said. Roosters can peck your head into a nub. Daddy put down his coffee cup. Excuse me? I pointed to my head. A nub, I explained. A nub is a teensy little knobhead. Roosters can peck your head into one. Mother looked strange at me. What in the world is this about? I did a big breath. Because how can I even be clearer on this subject? A nub, a roundish, ballish head knob. And do not tell me that roosters do not peck you. On account of we had pet day at school and Meanie Jim brought a rooster to room 9. And that boy is a rooster expert. Plus, also, you said Uncle Billy's rooster was mean too, right? Remember, Mother? Remember that? Mother looked frustrated at me. Then she put her head on the table, and she didn't come up for a real long time. Finally, she peeked her eyes at Daddy. Now what? She said. Maybe it'll blow over, said Daddy. I shook my head. No, it will not blow over, because roosters do not listen to reason, and so there is nothing we can do about this pecking situation. Daddy rubbed his eyes. Could we please just change the subject? Yeah, only not talking about a nub will not make it go away. And so, that's enough, said Daddy, very growly. I stopped talking then. But even after we changed the subject, nubs kept on staying on my mind. That day at school, Mrs. told us to draw a picture about our trip to the farm. She said to make it a colorful picture of what we wanted to see there. I drawed and drawed, plus also I colored and colored. My bestest friend named Lucille went first. We sat in our big chairs in a circle and we told each other about what we drew. She drew a picture of a pink flamingo. Flamingos are my favorite animals. That's because pink is my favorite color and flamingos are pink. And I have a pink dress that will match them perfectly. So that is the dress I will be wearing on the field trip. She wrinkled her nose real cute. Pink brings out the natural blush in my complexion. Have you ever noticed my satiny smooth skin? Mrs. looked and looked at that girl. You are a fascinating child, Lucille, but I'm afraid there aren't any flamingos on a dairy farm, she said. Lucille looked surprised. So, where are they then? Well, flamingos can be found a lot of places, said Mrs. South America, for example. Lucille shrugged her shoulders. So fine, we'll just go there instead. Mrs. said for Lucille to sit down. And then Polly Allen Puffer springed out of his chair. Look, teacher, I drew a catfish. See his whiskers? My brother said catfish whiskers are so sharp they can slice your finger to the bone. Mrs. made a sick face. Yes, well, thank you for sharing that, Polly Allen, but we're not going fishing. We're going to a farm, remember? Polly Allen Puffer looked upset. Yes, my brother said there's lots of catfish farms around here, and so that's the kind of farm I think we should. No, Polly, no, said Mrs. We're just going to a regular, plain old farm with regular, plain old farm animals. Polly Allen Puffer did a mad breath. He said the words, big whoop. After that, Polly Allen Puffer had to stand in the hall. Mrs. did some deep breathing. Please, children, please. Did anyone in room 9 draw a picture of a regular farm animal? Anyone at all? That's all I'm looking for here, just a regular farm animal. I did, Mrs. I yelled real excited. I drew a picture of a rooster under a tree. Oh, Junie B, thank you. That's perfect. And I hold it up so everyone could see. See it, Mrs.? See how pretty it is? Mrs. looked at my picture. Oh, yes, that's a very nice tree, Junie B, but why is it lying on its side? Because it crashed over in a rainstorm, I said. Oh, said Mrs. Oh, dear. She looked even closer. But I'm afraid I don't see the rooster, honey. And I pointed. There. See his feet under the branch? He did not get out of the way, apparently. Mrs. covered her mouth with her hand. Just then a girl named Charlotte hollered, I hate that picture. That's a terrible picture. And I crossed my arms at that girl. You would not say that if your head was a nub, sister. Meanie Jim laughed real loud. Then Mrs. said for us to all take our chairs back to our tables, and we did not show any more farm pictures. On Saturday, Mother came into my room, and she said we were going shopping for clothes for my farm trip. I looked up from my coloring book. No, thank you, on account of I am getting a fever that day, so I won't actually be going to the farm. Mother laughed. Don't be silly. Then she picked me up and she carried me out to the car. Yeah, only here's the problem. You are not respecting my wishes, I said. Mother laughed some more. I promise this will be fun. I did a huffy breath. Whatever. Whatever is the grown-up word for that is the dumbest thing I ever heard. And guess what? I was right. Shopping was not fun at all, 'cause Mother kept making me try on clothes that I didn't want. First, she made me try on a shirt with checkery squares, and then she made me try on overalls with big giant pockets. Plus, she tied a bandana around my neck, and she put a straw hat on my head. I looked in the mirror at myself. What do you know? I'm a cornball, I said. Only too bad for me because Mother said I looked cute as a button, and she bought those clothes anyway. Plus, also, she bought me a throwaway camera at the drugstore. After we got home, I started to color again, and Mother hanged up my new clothes. Do you want me to show you how to use the camera for your trip now? No, thank you. On account of I'm getting a fever that day, so I won't actually be going to the farm. After that, Mother did a big sigh, and she closed my door, and she let me color in peace. I got tricked, because on the day of the trip, I told Mother I had a fever, but that woman did not even take my word for it. Instead, she took my temperature. And so, what kind of trust is that, I ask you? No fever, she said. Then Mother dressed me in my farm clothes, and she drove me right to my school, and we pulled into the parking lot. Oh no, because there was the bus for the field trip already. It was parked right at the curb. Believe me, Junie B., said Mother, you're going to have a great day. Then she got me out of the car, and she pulled me to my teacher. Good morning, Junie B., don't you look cute today? I felt my forehead. I'm ill, I said. Mrs. smiled. I love your straw hat. My head is a flaming fireball. Mrs. bended down next to me, and that bandana is absolutely darling. I'm burning to a crinkle. Crisp, said Mother. Whatever, I said. After that, Mother lifted me onto the bus, and she handed me my backpack with my lunch and camera. She waved goodbye to me. I did not wave back because my hand did not feel friendly. Just then, my bestest friend named Grace came running to get me. Junie B, Lucille and I saved you a seat. And then she grabbed my arm, and she took me way in the back. I sat down next to Lucille. No, said that Grace, that's my seat, Junie B, and she quick pulled me up. So where am I supposed to sit then? Lucille pointed across the aisle. Right there, silly. You're sitting right directly across from Grace and me, and so it's almost like we're sitting together, except you will be separate. I sat down. But there's nobody to talk to over here. Just then that meanie Jim jumped up from the seat behind me. Me, you can talk to me, he said, very laughing. And then he leaned into my ear and he hollered, Cockle-doodly-doo, he said into my eardrum. Too bad you're afraid of roosters, he said. Roosters can tell if you're afraid, Junie B. Ask anybody. Roosters always peck the scaredy heads first. No, they do not. You are just making that up, probably. And anyway, if roosters peck people's heads off, all farmers would have nub heads, only they don't, so they're ha-ha. Jim raised his eyebrow. Are you sure all farmers don't have nub heads? He said, kind of spooky. Are you? He did a grin. Why do you think farmers wear hats? Jim leaned closer. To cover up their nubs, that's why. After that, he lifted up my hat and he patted my head and he cockle-doodly-dooed all over again. The bus drove for a very long time. Polly Allen Puffer was sitting with that Jim I hate while we were riding, and he stood up behind me. Junie B, listen to the song we just made up, he said, and then he and Jim started singing their song as loud as they could. Old MacDonald had a nub, E-I-E-I-O, and on his nub he had a hat, E-I-E-I-O, with an ow-ow here and an ow-ow there, here and ow, there and ow, everywhere and ow-ow. Old MacDonald had a nub, E-I-E-I-O. Finally, I covered my ears with my hands. I couldn't hear them anymore, and then I started singing a loud song of my own, and it's called No, Ha, Ha, I Can't Hear You, and I invented the words myself. Ha, ha, I can't hear you. Ha, ha, I can't hear you. Ha, ha, I can't hear you. I sang that song a jillion times, I think. Then all of a sudden, the bus turned down a long dirt road, and oh no, it was the farm. We're here, shouted the children, and I looked out the window. There was a big house with trees all around it. Also, there was a barn and a tractor and some chickens. I did a big gulp of those peccary things, because chickens have pointy lips just like roosters. I quick scrunched down on the bus floor. Then I hide it under my backpack, very sneaky, because maybe if I kept real quiet, Mrs. wouldn't see me, and I could hide on the bus the whole entire time. Lucille and that Grace stood up from their seats, and I made a shh sign at them. Do not tell teacher I'm here, and I mean it, I whispered. Only too bad for me, because just then I heard the worstest noise in the world. It was the noise of a big, dumb, tattletale boy. Teacher, teacher, Junie B. Jones is hiding on the floor. See her, I see her. Shh, I yelled, but Jim did not shh. Instead, he jumped right up on the bus seat, and he pointed his finger at me. She's trying to hide under her backpack so you won't see her, but you can almost see all of her perfectly good. He got off the seat and waved to me, very teasing. Ta-ta, he told me, and then he followed Lucille and Grace right off the bus. And that's why my heart got very poundy inside, because I heard the sound of footprints, that's why. I scrunched myself tighter. Junie B? It was the voice of Mrs. I didn't answer her. Junie B, I see you, okay? Your backpack isn't big enough to hide you. I looked up. Hello, how are you today? I am fine, only I'm not actually hiding. Mrs. crossed her arms. Then what are you actually doing? I did a gulp. I'm tidying, I said. Tidying what? I think real fast. I'm tidying the floor. I quick took off my bandana and then I wiped the floor with it. Good news, it's tidy now. All of a sudden I heard a chuckle. I turned my head and saw some boots. Junie B. Jones, I would like you to meet Farmer Flores. Farmer Flores owns the beautiful farm we're going to be visiting today. I raised my eyes very slow, and finally I looked all the way up to the top of his head. That's when my arms got shivers all over them, because guess what? Farmer Flores was wearing a hat. Farmer Flores did a nice smile. Your teacher tells me you're not very happy about being here today. I felt my forehead again. I'm ill. Yes, well, I've been thinking about how I could make this a better visit for you. And I was wondering if maybe you would like to be my special farmhand today. Do you know what a special farmhand is, Junie B? Shook my head no. Well, for one thing, the special farmhand gets to walk with the farmer in the very front of the line. Would you like that, I think? I did my shoulders up and down. I don't know, maybe, I said. And also the special farmhand gets to be the very first person to sit on the tractor. Does that sound like fun to you? I sighed very big. I don't know, maybe. Oh, and here's the most important job of all. The special farmhand gets to help me keep all the children in order. Just then my mouth opened all the way. In order? You mean I get to order the other children around? Farmer Flores rubbed his chin. Well, yes, I suppose you could put it that way, and I quick grabbed my backpack. Well then, what are we waiting for, Farmer? After that, I runned off the bus speedy quick, and I clapped my hands real loud. All right, people, get in the line. Farmer Flores is going to show us around, and he doesn't have all day, folks. Pretty soon, Farmer Flores and Mrs. came off the bus, too. They told the children to please hold hands in the buddy system. You heard him, people. The buddy system. We will be using the buddy system today. All of a sudden, Mrs. bended down next to my ear. Helping Farmer Flores does not mean being rude, Junie B. I want you to be helpful and nice. But I am being helpful and nice because I didn't even tell anyone to shut up yet. Just then I skipped to the end of the line and checked on Polly Allen Puffer and Jim. Got my eyes on you two clowns, I said, very helpful and nice. Jim cockle-doodly-doo to me again. Yeah, only too bad for you, Jim, because I already looked around this place for roosters and I didn't see one of those meanie guys. So, ha! After that, I quick skipped back to the front of the line, and me and Farmer led the children to the pasture. Pasture is the farm word for big grass and fence. Only wait until you hear this. There were 4 horses and 2 ponies in that pasture, and I did not even run from them. Attention, people, attention. Do not be afraid of the horses and ponies. Just stand very still, and they will not attack you, probably. I thought for a second. Also, do not feed them cheese popcorn. I looked at Farmer. I learned that from the zoo, I said. After that, Farmer held my hand and we led the children to the barn. The barn is where the cows get milked. All of room 9 held their noses in that place because barns smell like stink and hay. Farmer Flores told us about milking cows and he showed us the machines that they hook up to cows. Plus also we saw a big giant can that held the milk. After he got done, he asked if we had questions and I raised my hand. Do you breathe the stink air into your body? If you do, does that make your insides smell like stink air too? Farmer didn't answer me, only I don't know why, because that's a troubling question, I tell you. After that, he took my hand again, and we took all the children to another part of the barn. There was a black and white cow there, and Farmer showed us how to milk her with a milking machine. That is called a demo cow, I believe. After that, Farmer Flores was finishing talking about cows. Okay, boys and girls, let's get back outside and visit some other animals. And just then I got a little nervous. On account of what? If he was taking us to see the rooster. I walked outside very careful. Only good news. Farmer Flores took us right to the pigs in the pen. And then after that, we saw goats and lambs. And I petted a lamb on her fuzzy head. And that is not even the bestest part, on account of pretty soon, Mrs. Farmer Flores drove off in a shiny red tractor, and I was the first one to sit up there with her. I gave Mrs. my camera. Quick, take a picture, please. Take a picture up here on this tractor. I smiled real big for her. Mrs. clicked me. That will be a beaut, I said. After that, I got down from the tractor, and I took a cow picture and a pig picture and a lamb picture. Plus, also, I took pictures of my bestest friends. Excellent pictures, friends. I can't wait for Mother and Daddy to see them. And then I hurried to the big trash can, and I threw the camera right in there. See, Grace? See, Lucille? It's called a throwaway camera. Mother said that after you take the picture, you just throw it away and buy a new one. And so, what can be easier than that? Wow, said Grace. I know it is wow, Grace. Plus, Mother said the pictures turn out beautifully. All of a sudden, Mrs. runned over, and she took my camera out of the trash. Junie B, honey, you can't throw the camera away before the pictures are developed. Shoot, I said. Nothing's ever easy, is it? After that, Mrs. put down blankets in the grass, because it was time for a picnic. Me and Lucille and that Grace sat on a blanket and opened our lunch bags. Yum, I said. Egg salad. Yum, said that Grace. Tuna salad. Yum, said Lucille. Crab salad on a flaky croissant with a side order of greens and a light raspberry vinaigrette dressing. Then all of us ate our lunches very delicious. After lunch, it was time to get the children together again, and I clapped my hands some more. Okay, people, the fun is over. Get your buddy and get in line on account of the farmer wants to talk some more, apparently. Farmer did a teeny frown. Then he holded my hand, and we walked across the yard to another fence. Inside the fence, there was a building and some chickens. Okay, everyone, this is the last stop on our tour today, and he pointed. Who could tell me what that little building is right there? Lucille jumped up and down real happy. The gift shop, the gift shop. I've been wondering where that was. Farmer Flores did a chuckle. Well, that's a good guess, but most farms don't have gift shops. He looked at the class. I'll give you a minute. My wife and I get eggs for our breakfast every morning in that little house there. Just then a boy named Roger jumped up and down and all around. I know, it's a hen house. Farmer Flores laughed. Right, it's a house where hens lay their eggs. Farmer Flores opened the gate. I tugged on his shirt. He bended down next to me. Is there a rooster in there too? Just one, he said. But there's lots of chickens. Want to go and say hello? I shook my head real fast, and then I runned away from the gate speedy quick. Polly, Allen, Puffer, and Jim laughed and pointed. Look at Junie B. Jones. Junie B. Jones is afraid of roosters. Farmer Flores made an angry face at those two. Hey, 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 I'm surprised at you boys. There's nothing wrong with someone being cautious about roosters. Just then some of the other children looked kind of scared too. Why? Asked Lucille. Is the rooster going to peck us? Farmer Flores shook his head. No, that old rooster there is a pretty calm fellow, but that doesn't mean Junie B should be laughed at. And he smiled. Well, I've been around farm animals all my life, but every once in a while I still come across an animal that I don't get along with. In fact, we used to have a goat who nipped at me every time I got near him, and for years I made my wife go in his pen and feed him. After that, Farmer Flores winked at me, and Mrs. said I could wait outside the gate. My shoulders relaxed very much. I sat down on the grass on the fence. Only wait to hear this. Pretty soon, Farmer leaned over the fence where I was sitting, and he was holding a baby yellow chick. I giggled and giggled at that cute thing. A chick, a baby chick. Can I hold it, Farmer? Please, please? Farmer Flores put the baby chick in my hands. It was fluffery and softy and light as feathers. Ooh, I love it, Farmer. I love my baby chick. After that, I put the chick in the grass and on my lap and in my straw hat. Plus, also, I put it in my big, wide pocket. I peeked at it in there. I wish I could take you home with me. I wish I could take you home to my house, and then you could live with me and my dog Tickle forever and ever. Wouldn't you like that, huh? Would you? The baby chick did a peep. Hey, you said yes. I looked around. Did you hear that, Farmer? The baby chick said he would like to come home with me. Farmer shook his head. Oh, I don't know, Junie B. I'm not sure you'd really like having Spike grow up in your house. I did a frown at that man. Spike? Who's Spike? Farmer pointed at the baby chick. Spike the chick. We named that little guy Spike. I peeked at the chick again. Yeah, only Spike is not actually a good name for a fluffery baby chick. I know, Junie B, but Spike isn't going to be a little chick forever, you know. I know, I said, because someday Spike is going to be a great big giant chick, right, Farmer, right? Farmer shook his head again. Well, not exactly, he said. I looked at him real curious. Well, if Spike won't be a big chick, then what's Spike going to be? Farmer Flores took Spike back from me. He held him in his hands and petted his softy head. Someday, Junie B, Spike will be a rooster. I had confusion in my head. Because first I hated roosters, only then I liked Spike. Only Spike is going to be a rooster. And so, now what am I supposed to do? I didn't talk much after that, because confusion takes a lot of thinking, that's why. Plus, also, I might need counseling, possibly. Finally, the children finished seeing the chickens, and they came out through the gate. Then Farmer Flores held my hand one more time, and he took us to a field with wildflowers. He said we could pick wildflowers for our mothers, because that would be like a gift from the gift shop, he said. After all of us had our flowers, Mrs. took our picture with that nice man, and here is the bestest part. Farmer Flores took off his hat, and his head was not a nub. I danced all around that guy, very thrilled. Farmer Flores, your head is not a nub. Your head is not a nub. He wrinkled up his eyebrows and, thank you, he said. You're welcome, Farmer, because guess what? Now I don't have to be afraid of roosters anymore. I jumped up and down. Maybe now I can just be afraid of goats, just like you. After that, Farmer Flores looked at me a real long time, and then he rolled his eyes way up to the sky, and I looked there too, but I didn't see anything. The end. Now, I want to tell you, I have had lots of roosters in my hen house. And I want to tell you, almost all of them would have pecked your head into a nub. And that's the truth. Because I had roosters that would charge at me and jump on me, and it was terrible. And so I got rid of all my roosters. So now my hens are very nice and they're very happy, and there's no meanie roosters there to be pecking heads into a nub. But if you come to my farm, I can show you my chickens. So you all have a good day. Bye.